Tonight on Saltiness Isn't Bliss, you are going to love this recipe. So what better way to go along with the love of a recipe than a heart-shaped pizza with pepperoni? So let's get started. I've got an ultra-thin pizza crust here. Any crust will do. And we're going to use our pizza cutter or a knife or kitchen scissors, whatever you have handy, and we are going to cut a heart into our crust. Okay, so the pizza cutter just wasn't cutting it. Get it? And so I'm gonna try with kitchen scissors to just go back over the lines that I just made with my pizza cutter. I just don't want my crust to tear, and that's what I'm kind of worried about here, but that seems to be working a little bit better. So I'm gonna use that as the top of my heart, maybe trim just a little bit off to just round that out a little bit. There we go. And then on the bottom, I'm just going to take a tiny bit off to kind of give it that V shape that you have at the bottom of a heart. Now if you want to take more off and have smaller personal size pizzas in the shape of a heart, go for it. But I'm going to keep it right there. So I just took, as you can see, just a little bit off of there to kind of just shape it as best I can into a heart. Okay, so we have just cut a lovely little heart into our pizza crust. I forgot to mention, hope you guys remember from previous pizza recipe or pizza videos, preheat your oven to 425. So now we want to put our sauce on, because if we get our sauce on there first, that will act sort of like a glue to hold our pepperoni on that we're going to put around our edge. So let's do that. Any pizza sauce will do, and this will be to taste. So you go as thin or thick with this layer as you like. And I just like to use the back of my spoon to kind of spread that as even as I can. In this case, we want to make sure to really get it close and right to the edge, because that's where we're going to put our slices of pepperoni. Okay, so we've just put our layer of sauce on, and like I said, try to get it all the way to the edge. This is our lovely heart-shaped dish of pepperoni. This will be to taste as well, and I'm not sure how many slices we're going to need, but what we're going to do, the idea here is to just put them basically half on the crust and half off, so that they are, and you kind of overlap them a little bit as you go. So they're going to create this really cute border on our pizza that will kind of outline our heart shape and also give it a little flair. Welcome back, lovers of reduced sodium recipes. So we have just put our pepperoni around the edge of our heart-shaped pizza. In total, I used 30 slices. Of course, you can tweak that and use as many or as little as you want, and the size of your pizza might be different than mine here. So next we're gonna put our layer of shredded mozzarella cheese. And you know, I forgot to mention, guys, when we're doing these homemade pizzas, if you want to add in a variety of flavors of cheese, you can certainly do that. So you don't have to just stick with the mozzarella. Okay, so very last step is we want to add some dried Italian seasoning on top of our cheese. If you really want, you can certainly add more pepperoni in there where your cheese is. I opted not to because, let's face it, these 30 slices here have more than enough salt in them, so I'm going to keep it at that. So I'm just going to do a nice light sprinkle all the way around. You can always add some fresh garlic or dried on there if you want to add that flavor to your pizza. So there it is, ready to go in our oven. Because our pepperoni is kind of half off the crust, I'm a little leery to try to just pick this up. I'm afraid that pepperoni might try to fall off of there, so I'm gonna slide what I actually normally use to cut stuff with on the counter. So a very thin cutting board, and I'm just gonna try to get underneath that crust to just give it a little extra support while it goes in the oven, or while it comes off of this and goes in the oven. So let's see how that worked. Yeah, that'll work. So just a little tip, guys, be careful. Your pepperoni's kind of just barely on there, but hopefully that sauce is acting as it should and kind of gluing it to the crust. So I will see you as soon as this is done, about 8 to 10 minutes. Here it is, guys. Heart-shaped pizza with pepperoni. and wait for it, a heart inside our heart. So a nice little piece of cheese pizza for those that don't love pepperoni, or maybe pepperoni doesn't love them. I did forget to mention earlier, you can use any style pepperoni you love. If you can find a reduced sodium, even better. So go share the love of homemade pizzas with those you love. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time.